Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, December the 3rd, 2024. Tuesday, December the 3rd. Well, call Lulu stubborn or call Lulu stupid. She knows she had a liver transplant, but yet she still won't go to the hospital. I'm sorry, can she check her pockets? Are there medication in there? The dressing on that wound needs to be cleaned and changed. See, Dante is an enabler. He just lost Sam. You know how important it is for any transplant patient to be kept in a sterile environment, on meds, giving themselves the best chance so that their body doesn't reject the organ. But no, she has him take her to her mother's house when her mother could come see her at the hospital. So, needless to say, they get to Laura's house and Laura's not there. And you want to know what? That's because nobody called to say, hey, Laura, I got Lulu. We're coming over. Would have found out she wasn't there. But Lucky was there, luckily. And Dante leaves Lulu with Lucky. And pretty much Lucky is the one that fills her in on a lot. He had to break the news to Lulu that their dad, Luke, is dead. She did not believe it, died 3 years ago, December. And she didn't believe it. But he says, it's true, Lulu, they found his body. I didn't know they found Luke's body. I really didn't. Identifiable, I didn't know that. But anyway, um, then she talks about, okay, she thanks him for giving the piece, piece of the liver. Because first she goes, oh, so Nicholas is the one that I got the liver from, part of the liver from. And Lucky says, no, he was a match, but not viable. Oh, okay. And then she looks at him and they talk about something else. Then she goes, well, thank you for the liver. And he goes, well, it wasn't me either. She said, wait, what? He goes, apparently I picked up some kind of parasite in Africa. She says, wait a minute, wasn't you? It wasn't Nicholas, and it wasn't Mom. Who was it? And he told her Sam McCall. And she's like, Sam? Why would Sam do that for me? Because they never really ran in the same circles, right? And so um, Lucky ended up telling her, well, she and Dante have been in a relationship for a couple of years. And she goes, oh, that's why. And then he goes, for her to do this for me or for him, that must mean they were in love, huh? Lucky says, well, I wasn't here, but they've been together for quite some time, raising the kids together. And so she said, that's the look I saw on Dante's face. He's grieving. He's grieving the woman he loves. So now she at least knows that. Cyrus, Laura has him brought in, even though I didn't know the mayor could do that. But the mayor, in conjunction with the chief of police, right, or the commissioner, and she tells him, I specifically told you were to have no contact with my daughter unless it was pre approved by me. And now I'm finding out you completely ignored my wishes. You even gave the staff at Turning Woods the indication that you were over her medical decisions. I don't understand why. She goes, why would you do that? And he goes, well, dear sister, you must know Lulu's awake. She goes, he was trying to deflect. And she goes, Lulu, my daughter is missing because of you. And he goes, I had nothing to do with the reason why she's missing. Laura says, let me tell you what I think happened. Lulu woke up and she heard your voice. And she heard whatever plans you had, which you did not have permission for. So she ran to escape you. So she says, you're stalking my daughter. And he goes, I was not. She goes, yeah, you're stalking my daughter. And I'm going to get a restraining order against you and everybody else in my family because you just specifically went against my wishes, Cyrus. So she told Anna, get him out of my sight. And Anna says, wait, I'm not done with Mr. Renault. Uh, we got to get somebody from Turning Woods down here to see if they want to press any charges. And he looked, he goes, what? And I'm thinking, why would Turning Woods want to press charges? Right? And so he goes, you're detaining me. And she says, yeah, but till we can get somebody down here from Turning Woods, it's late, can't get them tonight. We'll get them in the morning. We'll keep you comfortable. So he's shaking his head as he's leaving. And Laura says, is that legal? Can you do that? Anna goes, legal enough. So Laura says, thank you so much. Because Cyrus would be out on the loose, stalking Lulu some more. So now we have, let's see, what's my picture? I only have one picture today because there was nothing really that good. Carly is in the boathouse talking to Jason. And she's just trying to get him, this thing you have with Drew, it's got to stop. And she goes, what's going on between you? And he goes, I told you, I am not telling you what happened between me and Drew. What's going on? I'm not going to do it, Carly. And she just looks at him like, eventually, he's like, don't even start it. So Danny comes walking in and he sees the two in the boathouse. He goes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. And you could tell he's upset. Jason goes, wait, Danny, because he was turning to book, right? Jason says, wait, Danny, what's going on? No, it's nothing. It's nothing. And you're clearly busy. He goes, wait a minute. First of all, I can see it's clearly something. And Carly says, yeah, come in. As a matter of fact, I can go. And so he goes, no, you can stay. He says, Rocco got his mom back. And Carly and Jason look at him and said, wait, what? And so he goes, yeah, I didn't recognize her. But I could tell by the way Rocco was looking at her and the smile he had on his face. I knew that had to be his mother. And the way she was looking at him, that's the way my mother, and he would look at me. And he didn't burst down crying, but he was just saying, I just had to get out of there. So Carly says, Lulu's back. I'm gonna go up to the main house, right? And so Danny says, no, Dante and her left about 10 minutes ago. So Carly is still standing there. And Danny Rocco texts Danny and he goes, this is Rocco. Rocco saying, where are you? And he says, I don't want to see Rocco because I don't want him to see that I'm jealous. He says, I'm happy he got his mom back, but I should have my mom too. They both should be here. And I'm jealous. I'm sad. And so he goes, and I don't want Rocco to see that. And Jason said, no, wait. It is okay for you to feel the way you feel. You are grieving. And Cardi says, and Rocco knows you're grieving your mother. Rocco knows that. And so Cardi says, you feel the way you want to feel. And Jason said, you're gonna feel, no, maybe Carly said, a wide range of emotions. And they're all okay because they're your emotions. Don't try to hide and put on a different face for others. Feel what you're going to feel. And Jason may have said that part, you know. And so Danny looked up. He goes, "Thank you, Dad." You know, he's happy his father was there so that he could talk to him, right? So Carly, Danny, Danny says, "Okay, I'm gonna go find Rocco now," right? So Carly comes and she's hugging Jason, but like a side hug, like a good friend. And she goes, "You're a good dad." And Jason's just looking down, right? Like, this is all new to me, right? And Jason's phone rings. Guess who it is? It's Anna, y'all. Anna. And you know what that chick said? "I need to see you, or we need to talk. We need to find Valentine right now." And Jason just kind of looks down like, "See, no, Jason." And you make sure you go to Anna and you tell her you're going to find Valentine on your own. Because, see, my son, my son lost his mother. I need to be here for my son. Just like my son needed me tonight, my son will probably need me tomorrow night, but for sure my son needs me every night because I'm his father. Now, Valentine, who you let get away, he's with his daughter. You want to find Valentine so you can bring Charlotte home to her mother. I need to be here for my son. See, Jason, I'm telling you, everybody, he better put his foot down because Danny is no less important than Charlotte. He is actually 100 times more important than Charlotte to Jason. So screw you, Anna. Screw you. That's how I feel about that. Let's see. We have by the way, the whole time Lucky and Lulu talked, they a good hour or more. They didn't think about calling their mama. You know, we got to catch up first. Good hour more than finally Lucky calls Laura and tells her Lulu is there. And Laura's so happy she's rushing out on her way there. Now, Dante went and he spoke to Maxie, and Maxie wanted the details on Lulu waking up. She's so happy. She wanted to run over there. She goes, "Where is she? Why didn't you bring her here?" He goes, "Because she needed to go somewhere else first." And Maxie's like, "Who's more important than coming to see me?" And she goes, "I took her to her mother's house." "Okay, okay. All right, I see that." He goes, "Well, okay." Maxie says something about Laura. And he goes, "Well, Laura wasn't there." She goes, "Okay." And we're back too. "Why didn't you bring her to see me?" And he goes, "Because she was talking to her brother, Lucky." And Maxie's like, "Oh, okay. I guess I could see that." She goes, "All right, okay, okay, then I'll see her tomorrow." I honestly thought Dante went there to tell her that now that Lulu's back, it's up to Lulu if she wants Maxie to stay in her house. That's what I thought Dante really came for. And he may have, but you know, Maxie ended up giving him a little pep talk, you know, letting him know, how are you going through all of this? You've gone through a lot. And he was saying, "You know what? I am just happy that that Rocco has his mom back. My son needed his mother. You know, we could think about me, what I'm going through later, but I'm just happy that Rocco has his mom back." So Maxie was like, "Okay, you know, okay." And then I fast forwarded through most of this, but Sunny and Natalia talked. Boring. She says the least she could have, because he goes, "You perjured yourself on the stand. You know, you didn't have to do that." And she goes, "Well, that's the least I could do for your daughter." the way I treated her. And then she talked about how she wishes every day Blaze would reach out to her, and she does. Blah, 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 blah. Fast forward. But one thing Sonny said, he said, my brother Rick, he hurt my daughter and he used her as a weapon to use against me, just like Jagger Cates did. And the way Sonny said that, I thought, Sonny, you better not think of killing your brother. Because see, the whole I was off my medicine defense, that's gone, brother. That's gone, buddy. Come on now. So there we have it. You wanted to kill Rick so many times throughout the years. This ain't nothing different at all. Now Rick goes by and he sees Molly, and Molly's there looking through her old diaries, boo-hooing, every diary she has, TJ is all through it, right? And she goes, I hate to think that my next diary, he won't be in it. Oh, and so Rick was saying that, you know, he wanted to talk to her about putting her on the stand. I didn't put you on the stand to hurt you. She goes, I know why you put me on the stand. She said, but you did it. I mean, you didn't have to, but you did it anyway. Molly says, my testimony was not crucial, but you did it anyway. And she says, and the way you cross-examined or treated Christina on the stand, he says, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. And so she goes, well, guess what? It worked. I do believe that it was a horrible accident. Irene's death. I do believe that. But for you having to make sure that you did your job for me, now TJ is gone, which that ain't on Rick, that's on her. But and he goes, why would TJ be gone? He said, because I see it's an accident. Nobody's to blame. But TJ isn't there, and he there yet, and he feels differently about it. And he's gone. And I said, well, you failing to mention the straw that broke the camel's back is when you told TJ, no, you didn't ever want children. That was why TJ left. Seriously. Even though those two have been one foot out of the front door and the other foot out the back door, the other person, for months now. But, it's easier to blame Rick. But she wasn't lashing out at him. And he went to comfort her when she was saying the thought that TJ may not be in the next one. And she goes, whoo. She kind of pulled back. She says, I don't want you here. And he looked at her like, wait, what? And he goes, but Molly, something about, I hope you know I kiss. Something he said. And she goes, I don't want you. You don't want me in my life. Something he said. She goes, no, I just don't want you here tonight, Dad. I don't want you here tonight. And he looked at her. He goes, okay, Molly. Or something about, well, I love you, or you know how much I care about you. She goes, I know. And he goes, well, I'm going to call you tomorrow. And Molly looked at him. She goes, and I probably won't answer. And Rick just looked and it's like, oh, okay. And he walked out the door. And I thought, she held her cool. Because she said, the things that you said to Christina on the stand, she says, unfortunately, those were the same words I have said to Christina over these past few months. I've said those same things to her. And she is grieving too. So anyway, Molly is just that kind of a numb impasse. And guess what? She's probably going to run into Dex tomorrow, right? They're going to have Dex and her run into each other again. I think we're going to end up starting to see something going with that. We'll see. We shall definitely see. And that is it, everybody. Nothing else happened that I can think about. So let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. Let me get my trusty dusty timer going here. Timer. Here we go. Today we're from the bottom up. So I'm going to read from the bottom of my comments and I'm going to read 10 minutes up. Lucy says, hello, hello, Daily Recap Lady. Great review and General Hospital episode rocked. December will be the best month of 2024. Really? November was pretty doggone good. Broken hearts, tears, hugs. What else? Hitchhiking and more. We shall see. I'm looking forward to December as well. Dacia says Alexis and Sunny Corinthos will always enable Christina every time Christina do something that is wrong. They protect her um, wrongdoing. Yes, they do. And then Linda says the writing on this show has become so ridiculously unrealistic. I've been skipping days. Well, guess what? I can't write. And then Lucy says, you're right. General Hospital stories have been unrealistic, but isn't it the backbone of daytime soaps? It's the best one out there, in my opinion. For me, I watch to get an escape from reality, if only for a little while. I hope you don't quit. GH. We gotta stick together. That's right. Don't quit it. Don't quit it, Linda. But go ahead and skip fast forward like I do. And then Lucy says Sonny Corinthos could send Ava Jerome away like he did to his cousin Gladys Corbin. Bye bye. No matter what Sonny says about Ava, he's not going to kill his babies, his daughter's mother. Tina says, so what Sonny plans on killing Avery's mother? That's what I was just saying. Wendy, he needs uh to up his meds. He's tripping. I know. And Tina also says Carly probably was visiting her son, daughter, and or grandchildren. That's the path they use between Michael's place and the main house. And you are 100% true, Tina. I forgot all about that. Jocelyn lives on the property. Michael, her grandkid, you're right. 100% right. And then Tina says, I understand Molly's fear, the loss of another baby, plus trust. Yes, her sister is a hot mess, but if you can't trust your own sister, trusting a stranger would be even harder. And then P. Merle said, adoption, anyone? Teresa says to P. Merle, the adoptive mother could change her mind. Yep, they have a year in California to change their mind. Molly has every right to decide whether she has the mental strength to handle the stress of having children given her fertility issues. TJ has the right to decide if her decision is something that he can live with. It's better to end things than trying to force children on a person that doesn't want them. That is true because the truth of the matter is, it'll always be, if they go the route they've been going, TJ's biological child and not Molly's. It'll always be that way. And Denzel says, hey, Daily Recap Lady, I agree with you 100%. But why Dante or nobody else didn't call Laura that Lulu was awake? Well, Laura wasn't answering her phone. I think Rocco was in shock when he saw his mother Lulu back at the Quartermain's place. And Dante was also in shock. Uh, Two was also shocked to see Lulu. He didn't even know that Lulu was out of the hospital because of Cyrus. And Dante was at Ava and Christina's testifying. That's why, yeah, he was there. That is definitely true. And then DB says one phone call around this whole thing would have round this whole thing up. Don't forget Maxie and Spinelli. That's right, Maxie and Spinelli. Also new. And Denzel, you got a little testy. Somebody that commented on your comment, I deleted it all because see, I told you about that. Stop it. Okay, everybody has their opinions. Let it be. You don't have to respond when somebody comments on your comment. They're not nagging or taking a snipe at you. They're just giving their opinion. Let it go. Take a deep breath, Denzel. Now we have Aisha says Christina gave Sunny an opening to tell her some home truths. And instead of getting her to shift her focus, like trying to help herself by helping others, or thinking of what Sam would have wanted for her, or cautioning her about fixating on revenge with examples of his own life, of how it turned out to do more harm than good, the fool tells her to embrace it. That's how I feel about it. Aisha, that's how I feel about it. And then goes on to refer to the baby as Adela. Oh, he's definitely embracing that name. Velda says, can't believe Lulu's story. She has had no effects of getting an anti rejection medication. Another note, come on, writers, let it all come out about Drew's real relationship between Willow and Nina to Carly and Nina. And then DB says, right? They got her walking around miles without medication. And refusing to go to the hospital. And Dante thoughts, has had no thought or not a thought to call Laura ridiculous. I know I'm not happy with that at all. At all. And then Pamela says, I feel Molly's fear is understandable. She lost a baby twice and was betrayed by her own sister. She probably had wouldn't be able to trust a stranger. And then P. Merle says, didn't TJ lose two children too? Why doesn't anyone ever consider TJ's feelings? Thank God for the Ashfords. Yes, TJ has lost two actually biological children of his. But yeah, that's rough. Sometimes you got to take a beat and a pause before you move forward, trying to go down the same path, right? Pamela says, of course he did. He did. I was just saying why she probably doesn't want to have children, and people handle their grief differently. DB says, can't imagine. It's a wrap for TJ. He was good with not marrying her, but this is too much. What a waste of time at this point. Yep, I think they need to move on because they've grown apart, or situations have kind of pushed them apart. Pamela says, I wonder if Molly is just going to tell Rick he when he comes tomorrow that and she decides not to tell Alexis. Well, Rick showed up that night, right? P. Merle says, tell Rick what? And then Pamela says to P. Merle, what happened between her and TJ? Uh, he is going to want to know what is wrong with her. Well, she told him. Thanks, Dad, right? And then Eric says, why bother with Laura? Not like she was answering her phone, not like she seemed to care that her daughter just had a liver transplant and wasn't paying attention to the phone for Turning Woods updates. She finds out Lulu is awake and then leaves to go to the PCPD. Uh, she leaves it to the PCPD to find Lulu when we know the PCPD has never found anybody, right? Which she knows is heading back to Port Charles and says she has to run her office. I know that was really weird, Laura. And then Wendy says ridiculous writing, and no one thought to call her. Also, nobody bothered to visit her as she was improving, except for creepy Cyrus. What else is weird? What if something would have happened to little baby Ace? Laura definitely was not available by phone for anything or anybody, right? But the doc. There we go. That was interesting. That's it for Comment Corner. That is 10 minutes worth of comments. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital.